Good morning, lovely sunny day. Let me introduce myself and welcome to my live video. My name's Monica Black, and for those of you who don't know me, I specialize in stress management. I use clinical hypnotherapy, NLP, EMDR, coaching, and mindfulness. And I've been doing this now since 2000. So I've got a few years under my belt dealing with all things that are stress and stress related. I'm also an author and I run workshops and courses. What I'm going to talk about today, even though it's very sunny and during the winter we always complain about, oh, it's so cold and it's raining and oh, we want some sun. We never see the sun in the UK. Well, we've got it, haven't we? Maybe sometimes it's saying, speak your mind to the devil, because it really is hot today. And heat, just as much as cold, does stress us out. And all the other things that come with hot weather. So what does come with the hot weather? We perspire a lot. We're running around, going to work, rushing onto the tube. I'm sorry, but some people do smell on the tube. And it doesn't sort of start our day off well. We get to work, we're soaking wet, we almost need to have a shower. It's stressful. So we start our day stressing. And then we have the same thing when we come home. Stressful, hot, and tired. If you're parents, you have to think of a few things. Either you're going away on holiday, you have to get yourself ready for that. Quite a lot of you may be frightened of flying. So what I would suggest, if you have a fear of flying, get yourself sorted, get over that fear long before you even book your holiday. Plan it. A little promote to myself, I do help a lot with the fear of flying. So you could always come to see me for that. Going shopping, getting clothes for the children, all of this, booking the holiday, getting to the resort. And what happens? We get caught up in what I call the whoosh. We get sucked up into that cyclone of never-ending moments. What we need to do, what you need to do, what I also need to do, breathe. We don't realize it's really very simple how to get over that stress, how not to be caught up in the whoosh. Take a step back. Physically take a step back and breathe. And you'll find that with just a few breaths, things will come back into perspective. Maybe you're not going away. Maybe you need to plan your children's holidays because you're staying here. What can we do? Having your children around for 6 weeks is stressful. Again, don't get caught up in the whoosh. Make plans. Plan that summer holiday. Plan the activities for your children. Maybe go around to museums. Go to play groups. There are lots of them that are around. Some camps for the children who are a little bit older. Maybe you can put them onto some sort of group where they can learn either drama or maybe they can learn painting. Hi, Laura. Laura Myers. Hello, how are you? It's hot, isn't it? And also another stress, before I forget, don't leave your dogs in the car. A dog can die in 4 minutes. Just one little tip there. So you've got stay-at-home parents. Plan your children. Keep them amused, because children will get bored and children will also get caught up in that whoosh into the cyclone. Teach your children to breathe properly. It's really all in the breath. Another thing that happens in this really hot weather, and what makes us stressed too, is we don't sleep. We don't get enough sleep. It's hot. We turn. We wake up in the morning grumpy. Prepare for bed. Cool the room down. Do have lots of wet flannels, really cold wet flannels around. Get a fan if there are any left. I sleep with mine on, and it's actually going now. It's keeping me nice and cool. During the day, keep the blinds down. All of this helps your stress levels. Little tips. You know something else? Beachbody. We're going off to the beach, whether we're here or whether we're away on holiday. Don't try to get a Love Island body. Some of you may be watching it, some of you not. I've seen it once, and I've seen what those girls and men look like. This isn't just for you ladies. You know what? Be happy and content with your bodies. You know, you're given your body. You've grown into it. You know your body. So there's nothing better than knowing your body. Make friends with your body. Love it. It's what you've got. You know, your skin keeps you in, as they say. It keeps everything in. Do the best that you can for yourself. Wear flattering clothes. That will bring the stress down. Don't wear big, bold dots all over the place. It may make you look bigger, even if you're skinny. But skinny isn't the word of the day. People are beginning to realize now that having maybe that full figure is so much better than being stick thin. I'm swallowing my words there. Again, don't get caught up in the whoosh of having to look perfect. Because you know what? There's no such thing as perfect. And if you do try to be perfect, you'll become boring because you're just so consumed with yourself. And that's stressful. Any self-focus, being inward looking, only thinking about yourself and how you look, actually takes you away from your friends. Breathe. You are who you are, and be really happy with who you are. And you'll find how much better you'll feel. Another stressful thing about summer, oh, and Laurel knows this from me this morning, I'd just taken an antihistamine. I could hardly talk. Hay fever. And the hay fever this year is really, really bad. It's another stressor. Eyes itchy, eyes sore, nose running, throat. And last night it really was so bad, I actually had to take my inhaler because I was wheezing. More stresses. I think actually thinking about it now, summer is a hugely stressful season, isn't it? But we can overcome it. Again, go and get hay fever tablets. There are lots of different varieties. Some suit you, some don't. There's one that begins with an L. I think it's something like Loratadine. Then there's another one that begins with a C. And if all that fails, then go to your doctor. Take precautions, and by taking precautions, being forewarned, being forearmed, takes away your stresses. And it's all about reducing the stress and being able to enjoy the sun. Now, I know that a lot of us, my experience this yesterday, and I think Laura knows about it as well, being stung by nasty flying things. I was at a friend's watching the football, and my friend's husband had a huge red mark here and another huge red mark on their leg, and both were really swollen. He'd been bitten by a wasp. Sadly, well, I shouldn't say sadly, but being a man, he didn't go to the hospital, and I need to call. Again, he was stressing over the wasp. I think Laurel has to barricade her home, make it almost a prison, not a prison, but an armament to keep the wasps out, because Laurel is also allergic to wasp bites. And that you're always on your guard, looking out for these nasty stinging things. And maybe if it's not wasps, it's mosquitoes. Protect yourself. Don't go into a wasp's nest. You're going to get stung. Go around with sprays. Spray yourself to protect against mosquitoes. Bring down your stressors. Accept, know what irritates you. Know what hampers you. Know what makes you stressed. And go and get yourself sorted. Oh, did you go to the doctor, Laura, then to get some tablets for your hay fever? Well done. Or was it the wasps? I'm not sure. It's all about taking precautions. Again, sunburn, gosh, isn't that a stress? We don't think that we can get burned here. But how many people you see going around bright red? And then they can get a fever and they can get all sorts of different things going on with them. Take your precautions. Going back to holidays, if you're flying, you've got a family, don't leave home at the last minute. Leave early. Better be at the place that you're leaving from, whether it's a train station or an airport or wherever. Be there early. Rushing causes anxiety. And when I use the word stress, I use it actually as like a big umbrella, because underneath that we have the fears, we have the phobias, we have the anxiety. Hi, Yvonne. Oh, thank you, Ari. Do you know, I was thinking that as well. It does need cleaning, but I'm not quite sure how to do it. So I'm more in soft focus now. Anxiety, under that umbrella comes anxiety, the fears and the phobias. Maybe you don't feel that confident about your body. Again, we spoke about that earlier. Be proud of your body. Be proud of what you are. Your body is what you've been given. Be proud of it. Don't try to be a Love Islander. And anyway, who would want to be Love Islander? Yes, again, my camera needs cleaning. I'm sorry. Do you know what? Thinking about this, I think that summer is the most stressful season of all. Does anybody else feel the same as I do? Anybody? And if you do, maybe I can give you a few tips, real life tips now, what we can do to help you. No? You all know what to do. I think that's wonderful. I've got all of these, what I must do. Gosh, there's so many comments. Laura, that's naughty. I've got all these comments. I'm really very sorry, and I actually can't see them. What? As long as I don't get a Love Island brain. Laurel, you would never get a Love Island brain. You are far too bright, as I think most of the people in our group are. And you know, I'll tell you something. Just because I know about stress, just because I specialize in stress and know how to bring down what I call, and I think you may have heard me speaking about that before, a seesaw, because stress is like a seesaw. I too suffer with the stresses of summer. No, I don't suffer with stresses of winter. I do suffer with the stresses of summer, the insects, the hay fever. You see my voice, I was starting to go, and that's hay fever. And you know, if we don't know about it, we wonder, what is this all about? But I know it's hay fever. I know I've taken a hay fever tablet and I know it hasn't worked very well, but I accept it. You know, one of the best things overcoming stress, don't fight it, don't push away what you don't want. Now, I know that may sound a bit strange, but unless you own something, you can't let it go. And so, what I say to people, own what actually your stress is. Whatever that stress is, own it. Okay, I have hay fever, so what? And once I know that I've got the hay fever, I'm not going to get stressed about it. I can let it go. You can't let go of something that you don't own. Own it. Own the fact that, we go back to Love Island, you don't have a beach body. Not a beach body, a Love Island body. You do have a beach body, not a Love Island one. So say to yourself, you know what? My body is not a Love Island one. I accept that. And you take by accepting it, you actually take away the oxygen of that stressor. As soon as that oxygen has gone, you can let it go. There's a lovely little saying that I really love. Maybe it's a mantra, I don't know. And I'm sure a lot of you have heard it before. But where do we get our stresses from? We look back and we look back on something and we say, oh, I should have, could have, why didn't I? Why didn't I prepare sooner for the holiday? Why didn't I get my hay fever tablets? Why? You know what? You didn't. It's in the past. Park it. And then we look to the future and we build up vast scenarios of things that are going to happen in the future. Oh, I'm going to lose my passport. I'm not going to get to the airport on time. I didn't get the hay fever tablet. My clothes don't fit. I don't know, 101 things. When we actually get to that moment in the future, that scenario we've built up in our head isn't nearly as bad as we imagined it would be. So we get off stress from looking back and then looking forward. If we say, and have this as your little saying, and it will most certainly help you. Yesterday's history. Tomorrow is a mystery. Today is a gift. That's why it's called the present. And we waste our time looking back and looking forward and umming and ahhing. We actually don't live in our moment, in our present. So accept the past, don't think about the future, and live what's going on. Accept all the stresses that's going on around you, accept them. And as soon as you can accept them, you can let them go, and they're actually not going to bother you anymore. So by doing the acceptance and by breathing, it's all in the breath. You'll get through the summer with a clear head, coming out the other side with no more grey hairs or any grey hairs. I think some of us do have them. The grey hairs, that is. I said earlier that I was also an author, at least I think I did. So I wrote this little book last year, I think. Oops, there we are. And in it are all lots of tips and exercises on how to get through the stresses and strains of living in the 21st century. You can get this, my little book of helpfulness, from my website. It's also on Amazon, but you'll get it quicker. You actually get it from my website. And it will help you taking that step back, breathing, and not getting caught up in what I call the whoosh of stuff. the whoosh of life, which is, that's what happens in the 21st century. That's what happens modern day living. We do get caught up, but don't be one of the ones who does get caught up. It's not worth it. It really isn't. So, are there any questions? There's an awful lot of comments, and I actually am not sure how. Oh, okay. I'm not sure how I can read these comments. But there's Rosalie. Hi, Rosalie. And oh, I don't want to cut myself off. Has anybody got any questions that they would like to ask me, maybe on something specific? I know you wouldn't leave any in the car, Laura, you're far too sensible, but the number of people who do leave their animals in the car absolutely breaks my heart. And if any of you see any animal in a car, please just call the police straight away, from one animal lover to all of you out there. Oh dear, I forgot to turn my phone off. Are there any comments at all? No comments? Going back to sleep, it is hard to get sleep. Let me give you a tip on helping you sleep once you've got your cold towels and your fan. Don't think about falling asleep, because the more you think about falling asleep, the less you'll fall asleep. Look up at the ceiling, or maybe look straight ahead at your toes, doesn't really matter. And again, just concentrate on your breathing. And if you can, as you breathe, if you're not frightened of balloons, imagine as you breathe in and your lungs inflate, imagine that you can see a balloon in front of you that happens to be your favorite color. So very controlled, see that balloon in front of you that's your favorite color. And as your lungs inflate nice and controlled, see that balloon inflate. And as you breathe out, see the balloon deflate. And keep doing that. And you'll find after a few times, maybe a minute, 2 minutes, you'll fall asleep. And the next thing you'll know, it's morning and you've woken up. Try that. It will help you sleep. I hope that can help. How do I read the comments? Can somebody tell me how I read these comments, how I click in? Oh, it's loading up. I really am so sorry here to be a little bit, oh well, it doesn't happen. Anybody else? Any questions? Besides saying it's so hot and no? Let me try. Let's see. No. I really apologize very much that I can't read your comments. And there's an awful lot of them there, I can see. If you'd like to comment again, then please do. And I can see it. See, these comments are all coming in. And I can't get to them. What a shame. What a shame. I really do apologize so much. They're saying it's so hot. If a dog is distressed, rashes, read the comments. I'm trying to read. Oh, thank you. Thank you very much for that, Rosalie. It is a lovely saying, isn't it? Their laughter lines from enjoying life. Put a bikini on, and that's that, isn't it? I totally agree with you there. What I've got some. Okay. Any more questions? Are there any more questions? No? No? Okay. Well, I hope that this has helped you a little bit. If you're going to take anything away, take away the little saying and don't get caught up in the whoosh. Don't get caught up in that cyclone and be sucked into the stress. Physically, if you need to, take a step back. Take that step back and breathe. It's as simple as that. And if you want any help on anything, please do give me a ring. And I'd be more than willing and happy to help you. If you have a fear, if you have phobia, I can help you with that, plus lots of other things. Enjoy the sun, enjoy the summer, and lots of love to everybody. Mwah. Bye-bye.